Right. Welcome, welcome, everyone. I'm going to share my screen. We will get started. All righty. Give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. Perfect. All right. Welcome, everyone, to How to Get Found in the Age of AI. So, right now we've got a lot of talk online, right? So many things are changing and they're changing fast. And a lot of my clients have asked me, how is AI changing how I get found online? So that's why I'm doing this topic today, because there's so many people questioning what they need to change on their website, on their strategy, on their social media, so that they can still get found online. So I just want to start off a little bit about me. I've been in the marketing industry now for 15 years. I've owned my own agency for 10 years in October. And the main thing I like to focus on with my background is I have been in the industry with tech and I've been in the industry with small business. And both are so different in the way that you market. Big industry, they have all the marketing dollars in the world. Small business, the ROI really has to matter. And so my passion has always been small businesses and making sure that they get the value for their money. And so when I started my agency back in 2016, that was my primary focus, is to bridge the gap between the big agencies and the freelancers so that small businesses could get those same level of service for a more reasonable price. And so I'm going to go ahead and get started with the content. And so I already said marketing feels more complicated than ever. Okay. We have jargon soup happening right now with AEO, SEO, AI mode, AI in general, algorithms, AI search, all these different acronyms to say a lot of things that mean a lot of nothing. And so a lot of small business owners are going, I am more confused than I've ever been. Am I supposed to be doing social media? Am I supposed to be doing SEO? Am I supposed to be doing a new website? What am I supposed to be doing with all these new changes? What am I supposed to be doing? And it just feels too complicated. So hopefully by the end of this workshop, everything's going to be a lot more clear for you guys. I'm hoping that you take away some good information and some action steps that you can take immediately to start improving your visibility and to clear that confusion so that you're not worried about what's changing and what's happening next. So the first thing I want to say is the fundamentals haven't changed. There's a lot of things going around online saying SEO is dead, and that is not the truth. People are still searching. People are still asking questions, and people still need your solutions. So those fundamentals have not changed. The tool that they use to get to the information is what has changed. Okay? So the first myth I want to dispel is if I have a website, that should be enough. So a lot of us buy a fancy website and we see absolutely no results because having a website is not the only thing that you have to do to get found online anymore. Maybe 20 years ago, that was all you needed. But now there's so many channels and so many different pieces that go into the web and the puzzle that you have to focus on multi-channel operations. So a lot of my clients have a website, they have some content. A lot of the business owners do a social media presence, but it's really light. But getting found is about answering the questions that people are asking. And there's got to be some consistent signals across the web that tell people, hey, I'm the business that's going to solve your problem. So I like to say a website is the address, right? So, like, the website is your home, but it's not the invitation. So, if you're having a house party and you don't invite anybody to your house party, nobody shows up. So that's what we want to do and focus on today is how do we invite people to show up to the party? And so when we're talking about Google, Gemini, ChatGPT, all the AI tools, they still have to be able to find your home, understand it, and trust it enough to recommend it. So how do we do that? So first we have to look at clarity. Clarity over the complexity. Because there's a lot of really technical stuff you could do. And we're not going to go over super technical things today because it would just be a 3-hour workshop. And today is not a 3-hour workshop. But there's a lot of things you can do that are not overly complicated and not overly technical to get found. So what does clarity look like? The first thing you want to ask yourself is, can someone understand what you do in 5 seconds or less when they jump on your website? I've seen a lot of websites where they put the offer up front before I even get to know you and know what you do. And unfortunately, when you do something like that, that creates a bounce. People go, oh, I'm not ready for all of that. I don't know what you do. So then you have to be clear about who you help and how you help and what your services are. How do you fix that problem that they're searching for? And also, is it obvious how to work with you? Is it obvious that it's a discovery call? What's their next step? Do they need to schedule a call with you? Are you hiding your phone number? I've seen a lot where they're hiding their phone number. Don't hide your phone number. Make it easy for them to communicate with you. Or is it, I am offering you a free product? Am I offering you something else? It needs to be abundantly clear the second they get on your website, the solution that you solve, the problem that you solve, you are the solution to that problem. Because AI needs clarity too. Google has, for the dawn of time, ranked clear and structured content first. So people who create their content on their website to tell Google exactly who am I, what do I do, this is how I serve people, this is how I help, they've always ranked higher. But where does ChatGPT, where does Claude, where does Gemini get that information from? The exact same sources. So that hasn't changed at all. It's just people are now, instead of going to Google to find that answer, they are going to ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini. But we can't forget about the humans behind the screen. So you can do all that technical back-end stuff. You can add all the keywords. You can structure your content really well. But if it's not structured in a way that a human can understand, they're going to decide in seconds that you're the fit for them or not. So if your website is confusing to a person, it's also going to be confusing to AI. So how should we restructure our content for AI? Your content has to answer real questions. This is the biggest thing that's changing, is it's not necessarily present your services up front. It's more about answering the questions that people are searching for. So what this means is, what questions do they ask themselves before buying? So start to get into their head a little bit. What questions are they asking before they're buying? What are they putting into that search? What are they asking ChatGPT? Right? So in the past, a lot of people would search like massage therapist near me. Now they're searching who's the best massage therapist near me. So people are searching more as a question than as a direct service provider. So the people who are structuring their content for that search are going to show up more and be recommended by the AI platforms more than someone who just says, I'm a massage therapist in insert city here. So how do you prove that you are the one that can answer that question? So if you haven't added an FAQ section on your website, that's one of the things you'll want to think about. So search is about what your customer is trying to find, not what you want to say to them. So you could say, here's all my credentials. Here's why I'm awesome. But they're not there yet. They don't care about that yet. They want to know that you can solve their problem first. And then they want those trust signals of, oh, yeah, they're speaking my language. They're saying what I want them to say. And also, they're certified. And also, they have 5 stars on Google. And also, they have certifications, right? So your content has to be tied into what you actually do and the questions they're searching for. Now, a lot of the talk in marketing has been around engagement. So this applies to social media, but it also applies to your website. Having engagement isn't the same as being findable. And I like to use the example of, because a lot of people use inspirational quotes on social media, but they'll use inspirational quotes that don't really tie into what they do as a business. And so there is zero connection to what you actually do. So if you have a lot of fluff content that doesn't really get to the meat and potatoes of what you actually do, even on your website, they can jump away. They may click, that's engagement. They may click, but then they're going to go elsewhere because somebody else said it in the way that they were looking for. So engagement tells you that you've started the process, right? Getting traffic is starting the process, but we have to make sure there is a connection there to get people to actually convert. So let's talk a little bit about how AI search works. Okay. So AI search works very similar to SEO because it pulls answers. It's scanning the web for the most relevant and direct response to the question that someone has put in. So it's prioritizing that relevance and it's extremely customized to that person. I think at this point, ChatGPT knows me better than I know myself. So it's extremely customized responses that it's giving. So with SEO, it's like if you are ranking high in a certain key term, you're pretty much ranking high for that certain key term for everyone in that geographic area. But with AI, the answer is going to be different for every single person that puts in the same exact prompt because it's going to tailor those responses based off of what it knows about that person. So if we can give it more information up front, if we can give all of those answers up front without having it dig, that makes it more likely for us to be recommended. So SEO and AI are not separate. They are building on each other. Google just announced one of their biggest changes to search in 25 years because they are going to be AI first on all search results. You've probably already seen the little synopsis on top when you do a search. A lot of people are mildly frustrated with that. So DuckDuckGo actually saw an extreme increase of traffic to their search platform because we're in a really weird spot right now where some people love it, some people hate it. So you don't want to stop doing your SEO efforts because all of this is building on top of each other. Okay. So, like I said, AI pulls from the same exact existing online information. They've been training these models on the information that's already out there on the web. So your website is still going to be the foundation for you to get found through AI search. And it's still going to pull, just like with SEO, the reviews on your Google page, the directories that you're listed in, so chambers of commerce. It's going to be looking at your social media presence. The difference is AI is now connecting the dots through the whole ecosystem. And it's going, and in seconds, because it's fast, it can determine if your business, based off all of those signals, is the best one to recommend to that particular person. So you still need to be continuing to get reviews on your Google pages. You still need to be updating content on your social page. And you still need to be updating content on your website. So it gets its answers from all of those different sources. But I'm going to give you a couple tips so that your website is a little bit more AI forward. Start adding FAQ pages or FAQ sections, to all of your pages. Make sure those FAQs are relevant to each page. So let's say you have a service page that's about social media. You would add FAQs all about social media on that social media services page. And when you start creating blog posts, we've done this for years where we answer questions on blog posts, but now if you could add a quick answer section on the very top so that AI can pull that and put it directly into that synopsis that you see, that's going to help get you traffic as well. And for years, we've been doing schema markup for SEO. This is more important than ever because, and I kind of wrote this out, but schema is like a label on a can of soup. There's food in the can, but the label tells you exactly what's in the can without having to open it. So it allows AI to scan your website quicker. You're telling AI this section of content is this, so it doesn't have to guess or make assumptions. So there's a tool through Schema that you can use. It's validator.schema.org. So you can put your website URL in there and you can see if you have Schema already set up on your website. There's two of them that I would recommend that you do is just the local business one first. So if you don't have just the basic local business schema on your website, set that up and put it on the footer of your every page. And then also those FAQs. So that way you have at least two pieces of content that AI can pull from for those recommendations on the top. So if you don't have these things, your foundation is going to be weak. And AI will notice and recommend somebody else over you. Now, with all of this foundation work is super important, but that's not the end of the story. So what we want to do is consistently show up, right? So once we built that foundation, we still need to continuously show up in front of people. And that's what's going to build your visibility in the long term. Because consistency builds that trust. The more, even subconsciously, if someone's seeing a business more often, they're more likely to trust it. Because if you haven't posted on your website in years, or if you haven't posted on your social media in months or years, it's like, are they even still in business? Do they care enough to continuously update us about things? So that subconsciously builds that authority. And in the web side of things and the AI side of things, the more authority you have, the more they're going to show you to people. I mean, I like to use Amazon as an example because they are probably the most obnoxious about it. There's a lot of people that hate Amazon, but they still trust them to get the product to them. They're seeing ads from them all the time. They're always getting updates from Amazon, right? You talk about it to a friend and you get an ad on Facebook from Amazon. So those kinds of things builds that consistency and then consequently builds trust. So I want to give you an example of a client that I helped build this consistency system. So she was an estate planning attorney, and she was doing what most small businesses do, which is the random blog posts, the randomly posting on social media, no calendar, no plan, just showing up when she kind of remembered to. And of course, consequently, she was getting random, inconsistent results. So she was getting random clients, which is totally fine, right? If you have enough business to be busy, that's totally fine. But if you're in the space where you want to grow and you want to get consistent leads and you want to consistently have that work, you also have to be consistent. So we worked with her for 3 months to start building consistent blog content on a regular schedule, posting on social on a regular schedule with really clear calls to action, and then also really leveraging her existing list for email marketing. Because a lot of times, if we're not keeping top of mind, even with people who know, like, and trust us, they will still go to someone else because we're all very a little ADHD these days. So keeping top of mind. So after those 3 months, we built a system that led into a workshop. So just a basic estate planning workshop. We didn't reinvent the wheel. It was something that she couldn't patent. It's the basics, right? But building that consistent presence leading up 3 months before that workshop, she filled that workshop with people who were already warm. These were not cold people because they had already seen her content on social. They had already gotten emails from her. They had already seen her blog content. So they already have that subconscious trust with her. They already know she knows what she's doing. So at the end of that workshop, she closed 5 new clients at $5,000 a piece. And now she can repeat that system every month to get clients every single month. So that consistency is now compounding on itself. And now she's not having to do as much because she has a system. And just like that consistency builds trust with your clients or potential clients and customers, it builds trust everywhere. Google can see those signals. It can see that people are interacting with your content and visiting your content. They track everybody everywhere. Okay. And AI tools are using those signals as well. So if they're seeing a lot of people talk about ageist digital investigations, they're going to start showing it to other people that match the same profiles as the people that are already interacting with your content. And of course, like I said, people trust businesses they see on a regular basis. There's that intrinsic trust to the familiarity of knowing and seeing them. So you don't need more tricks. You just need to be crystal clear about who you are, who you help, so that it's easy to understand right up front. Answer those real questions that people are asking about your business and about your services, and build that consistency so that you're showing up regularly. So this is a lot of work for some people, and I totally understand that. And there might be some confusion still about, well, maybe I'm doing the right things, maybe I'm not. So I want to offer you guys a free discovery call. So we can go into more depth about your website. I'll look at your website, your social presence, your online presence in general, and see if there's any gaps that I can help you fill. So no obligation whatsoever. I just want to be helpful and give you some next steps on a personal level. So, and I will put that link in the chat as well. And let's go ahead and open it up for questions. Feel free to put them in the chat or just unmute yourself.
I have a question if I may.
Yeah. Hi, Drew.
See where you can see me here. I have my thing shut. So
Yeah.
when you talked about the hi, how are you, Tiffany? Sorry.
Good. How are
Um,
you?
so when you talk about the FAQ section on
Mhm.
every page, so
Yes.
so so I'm in real estate. Some people don't know. I'm in real
Mhm.
estate. If I have a page about my listings that are coming soon or they're on the market, what kind of FAQ would I have? What, like, say when they're available, when the open houses, or what would I say on that page?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So that one's a little different. So for your listings, I would talk about um, some of the common features of the property.
Okay, okay.
So
Keep it property
like
specific.
what school district is this list, is this property in? You know?
Okay.
Yeah. So it would
What-
be features of the property more than like your process.
Okay, so let's say on the About Me page, about us or about me, right? They click
Yep.
on there to find out more about me. I would have a FAQ section on there as well.
Yes.
Okay.
And that one can be more about what makes us different, what's the different processes we go through. And for some pages, you may have similar questions, right? So like on the about page might be similar to your services page,
Okay.
right? But each page should have some kind of section where you're answering a question of some kind.
In regards to that page. Okay.
Exactly.
All right. Perfect. Thank you.
You're
Thank you for that.
welcome. Any other questions I can answer?
I have a question, Tiff.
Hey, Nikki.
Hi. So if like we go in, we do some of this stuff, and then we start just going and searching and and go into chat and say, who's the best accountant in my area?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any harm in that?
No, not
No.
at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Until,
Yep.
you kind of can see what they have that you don't, and then you can see if it finally will
Exactly.
bring you in. Okay.
Exactly. You can
That's it.
also ask chat. You can do that first
Yeah.
and then ask chat. If you don't show up at all, you can give it your website and say, hey, what could I do on my website to improve? And it will it'll scan your website and it will
Yeah.
tell you what you're missing.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to make sure it wasn't like, checking your credit report, that it was going to
Oh, no.
affect it somehow if you kept
No,
trying to do it and see.
no, not at all.
All
Yeah.
right, awesome. Thanks. It's good to see you.
You too. Any other questions?
Yeah, back to the FAQ on every page. Would it be like one to three questions per page or specific for different parts of the page?
Yeah, it can be just a section for the whole page.
Okay.
So I would say, yeah, 1 to 3. Well, 3 questions is good,
Okay.
right? If you can only think of one, that's better than none. So, but it doesn't need to be 20 questions, right? Unless you have an actually dedicated FAQs page, in
Yeah.
which case you could put all the FAQs from the entirety of the website all on that page as a repository.
Okay. What about like the 1 to 3 per page with a link to the full FAQ?
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
Awesome.
That's your in linking, traditional SEO in links.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
I just have to think about this because Zach is doing the website, and he's trying to transition to a new one, but the volunteer he was helping me with disappeared. So
Oh,
we're
no.
trying to reboot that, and we have 4 of us that do stuff on Facebook that is supposed to feed to Instagram. I don't know if it's doing it regularly. I've got to look at that. But we're a group of volunteers. We're all doing it part-time. So
Exactly.
it's a challenge that way. And like I said, we're fighting with Squarespace trying to get it to fit the content. Because it seems like when Zach does it, it's giant. When I do it, it's different. So I don't know why.
Yeah. Yeah, that ties more into the user experience on the platform that you're building on. And Squarespace does make it ever so slightly more difficult to do the schema stuff, I will say. Not terribly difficult. You can still insert code and everything like that. But they do make it a little bit more complex because they don't have it set up naturally.
Well, even the frequently asked questions, we put that actually on each page based on, donate or volunteer.
Exactly. Yeah.
But people don't go to the website. They go and message us on Facebook.
Okay, so that's kind of a signal problem, right? So when you're posting content on social, telling them to go to the website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because knowing because I see all the messages on Facebook and it's the same questions over and over again.
Over and over. And you may do an FAQ
and they're on our
series,
Facebook.
right?
They're on our Facebook page.
Right, exactly. So it's almost like let's repost some of these FAQs on the Facebook so that you're not getting as many of those same questions over and over. And then linking it to that FAQs on the website when you mention it on Facebook. Yeah.
So right now, of course, it's all about spay neuter.
Yep.
And the vaccine clinic. So
yep.
I will work.
And you'll always have that, right? Because everybody has the questions that they're gonna try to find the path of least resistance too. So if you can say, hey, I'm gonna post it on the website, but also post it on Facebook, that will cut down on the direct messages that you get that you have to answer every time individually. So
right now, I don't think we've got everything else on there, but our new event next month is only been on email and Facebook. It's not on our website, but I'm trying to figure out where we can put it because we don't have an events page anymore.
Oh, yep. I would add an events page for sure on that. So, yeah.
So, okay.
Awesome.
Thinking about it. Okay, good.
Yes, absolutely. Any other questions? Great. Well, don't forget about getting a discovery call because I will go into detail on your specific website. And let me pull the link so you guys can just click on it. So it's easy peasy. And it's always on my website as well. So you can always find it at tiffanycoxdesign.com. And I hope to see you on a call. So awesome. And we will be sending out the recordings so that way you can go back on this and re-review it and all that good stuff. So thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate y'all's time and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Thanks, Drew.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thanks, Tiffany.
Thank
you.
you.
See you
You're
around.
welcome. Yep. Bye, guys.
Bye.